Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is the last movie in the Skywalker saga and the last of the sequel trilogy. It got a PG-13 rating, and out of all these movies, it's definitely the most deserving. Honestly, I've never really liked this text scroll thing. Kylo Ren is killing a bunch of rebels, trying to find Emperor Palpatine. And this is not how lightsabers work. It would go through this rebel, it wouldn't push him back. But I'm sure this is the only thing this movie's gonna get wrong. But he eventually finds Emperor Palpatine. Palpatine tells him that he has been the voice of everyone that Kylo has heard, and that he created Snoke. Although I'm not sure how he would do that, but every time Snoke is mentioned, I think about what a waste that character was. They then reveal that the person Kylo Ren has been talking to is Emperor Palpatine, even though he died in Episode 6, and I don't know how he survived getting thrown down a shaft. Also, why are they trying to make this a mystery when they've been advertising that he's been in this the whole time? I kind of feel like they put him in here just because they screwed up with Snoke so bad. Oh yeah, we have rating stuff. Emperor Palpatine is pretty decayed and his face is kind of messed up, and it could be pretty unsettling for younger viewers. Then Palpatine orders all the ships to rise from the ground, and I don't know where these ships came from or how they built them. It then reintroduces the mystery of who Rey really is. And of course, they're not going to say it till later, but they are trying to find out who the spy in the First Order is. And for some reason, they're still driving this old Millennial Falcon. And I don't know how they're outrunning these ships, because this would be like trying to outrun a Ferrari in some regular car from the 80s at this point. They do have a dogfight of a lot of shooting and chasing around, and it can be kind of intense. They then start doing these light speed jumps, and I don't know how this old ship can do this with ease, but yet the newer ships keep having problems and crashing into everything. Plus, isn't this ship too old to be doing this? I still don't know where Kylo Ren found Vader's helmet, but apparently he needs it to track down Rey. So Rey is doing training, and Kylo Ren takes over some little droid and is somehow able to keep Rey from hitting it until she just gets a regular stick, and for some reason, then she can destroy it. So Finn and Poe get back to the Rebels' hideout, and the ship is on fire, and is pretty damaged, and I don't know how they managed to make it back.
You can't lightspeed skip the Falcon!
See, even Rey knows how stupid this jumping thing was, but they just dismiss it as a joke. They then have a meeting about what was discovered, and they say that Palpatine is either back because he's a clone, or he revived himself with a Sith power, which either way, it kind of ruins Vader's sacrifice and makes it all for nothing. But they also reveal that Palpatine is in some place called Exegol, although I'm pretty sure they just made this up for this movie. And for some reason, the only way to get there is to use a Sith Wayfinder. But they never explain why, because this movie doesn't explain anything. So the main characters are getting ready to go to Exegol, and Finn tells Rose that he wants her to go, but I'm not sure why. I mean, didn't she screw things up enough last time? So they go off to find the way key, and it cuts to Kylo Ren getting his helmet repaired. But if he has Vader's old helmet, and he's obsessed with becoming Vader, why doesn't he just have these people make him a helmet with Vader's helmet? It's not like this movie gives the original movies any respect anyway. But then he goes to a meeting with an alien's head, and fun fact, this head had to be an alien head, because if they used a human head, this movie would have gotten an R rating. And he's talking about a spy in the Order, and one of the generals says something he doesn't like, and he force chokes him, because we have to make this stupid character exactly like Vader. I hate this guy more than any other character in this entire series. So Rey and friends go to a planet, and there's a festival going on, and they have some random kid talk to Rey and ask her what her family name is, but she doesn't have an answer, because this movie really wants to remind you that there's a secret to who she is, even though the last movie said that there wasn't. But shortly after, Kylo Ren contacts Rey, and they do this dumb force talk thing again. And towards the end of the conversation, Kylo Ren somehow force grabs her necklace through space. When was that a thing? People have never been able to grab things through thin air like this. But that's how they find out where Rey is. So some stormtroopers find them there, and one of them gets shot in the eye, and it's pretty graphic for a Star Wars movie. And it's revealed that the person that shot him is Lando. And why is he in this movie, other than to help find the Wayfinder? But then this leads to a chase scene with stormtroopers, and it's part of the action and sci-fi violence rating, because Rey blows up a cruiser with a trooper in it, and so do Finn and Poe. And then Chewie just murders a flying trooper, and it shows his body laying there for a while. But the good guys' cruisers get blown up, and of course they're all fine. And Rey shoots a flying trooper, and he just flies off and explodes. What is happening? But then they sink into the ground and find some Sith ship, and near it is a dagger that's inscribed with the Sith language that shows where the Wayfinder is. 3CPO knows what the dagger says, but for some reason his programming forbids him from translating it. While they're in the tunnels, a giant serpent shows up, and Rey just walks up to it, because apparently she can force tame animals now. This whole thing gets worse. I just wish the serpent could just eat her, and this would be done. The serpent has a giant wound on it, and Rey touches it, and force heals it. When was force healing ever a thing? I can't think of a single time this has ever happened. Do you know how many times this would have come in handy in this series? Did she just teach herself how to invent whole new powers? Or are they just making stuff up now? No wonder Rey is referred to as a Mary Sue. So after that dumb scene, they find a ship that they can use to get off the planet, but Rey doesn't get on the ship, and Chewie goes after her but gets captured because they're all incompetent. While Rey is standing around, Kylo Ren starts driving at her at full speed, and I just hope he hits her. She'd probably just be able to force heal herself anyway. But she jumps over it and slices one of the wings, and the ship blows up. But Kylo Ren doesn't die, because this stupid movie still needs him. So the Order is leaving, and Kylo Ren and Rey are having tug-of-war with this ship that bullshit. How is she able to use Force Lightning? Force Lightning is something that you have to learn through studying the dark side for years. It is not something that just happens. How is she able to do this? Why am I still trying to figure this movie out? Anyways, it's then revealed that 3CPO can translate the inscription, but it would wipe his memory. So they go to some planet to find someone who can do this. So while they're on the planet, they get caught by someone that Poe used to know, and it's revealed that he was a spice smuggler before he joined the rebellion. So they go with her to her hideout, and this is just a small thing, but did they just make 2 little ramps so the small droids can go up these stairs without anyone picking them up? They then wipe CPO's memory and get the inscription translated, and it reveals where the other Wayfinder is. So Kylo Ren's destroyer gets to this planet, and Rey senses Chewie on the ship, but I thought Jedis can only sense other people who have the Force, but Rey can do everything. Poe's friend gives her her First Order pass chip to get onto any ship, although it seems really out of character for what little they've shown of her. But they use it to get on the destroyer, and they get into a gunfight with some stormtroopers, and it shows people getting shot, so it just adds to the sci-fi violence. Rey uses the Force mind control on some stormtroopers, although they don't repeat exactly what she says like they're supposed to do.
You're relieved that we're here.
Thank goodness you're here. Welcome, guys.
Because this movie can't get anything right. But while they're rescuing Chewie, there's some more gunfighting, and it shows stormtroopers with bullet wounds, and Poe gets shot. But during this, Rey goes off on her own, because she's dumb as hell, and finds Vader's helmet and the dagger in Kylo Ren's quarters. So they have another Force talk, and they can somehow fight each other through this, even though in the last movie it shows it doesn't work this way with Luke in the desert. But during this, Kylo Ren reminds Rey of her parents, which intensifies the fight, and during it, Rey cuts a bag of fruit in the village, and the fruit spills out onto the ship, because that's how this works now. And the same thing happens with Vader's helmet, and that's how Kylo Ren finds out where she is. Finn, Poe, and Chewie are about to get executed by General Hux, but Hux is the spy, so he shoots the other stormtroopers there, and helps them escape.
I don't care if you win. I need Kylo Ren to lose.
So do I. So Kylo Ren goes back to the ship, and reveals to Rey that Palpatine killed her parents, and wants her killed because she is Palpatine's granddaughter. Because Rey needs to be super special in everything. When did he have time to have children? And why would Palpatine have a family? Since Rey is about the same age as Kylo Ren, that means her parents are about the same age as Leia and Han Solo. So Palpatine would have had to have a child and a family about the same time that he was taking over the galaxy as the Emperor. And on that note, I need a break from this movie. I will have part 2 next week, or if you're watching this after I make it, click the box on the right, and don't forget to do the YouTube stuff. Thanks for watching.